Stay a while and listen.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? It's Tuesday? I mean Friday?
Stay a while and listen.
It's Friday? It's Friday. It's Friday. Sorry I haven't been on for a while, guys. Just working overnights really takes a lot out of me. What's up, Mr. E? I mean Blaze. I mean Mr. E. I'm not sure what to call you. So yeah, where was I? Overnights, man.
BBC.
What's up, Marcus? How you doing?
Stay a while and listen.
It's been a while. As I was saying, overnights takes a lot out of me, and I was gonna go live Tuesday. I had planned on it, but it was my day off. But we had pretty big thunderstorms going on in the area all day, and you know, lightning and all of that fun stuff. And the power went out a couple of times, so I just didn't want to go on and risk, you know, losing power during a stream, because that sucks. That sucks. Nobody enjoys that. I do, or I may have to step away here for a few minutes when my daughter gets home. She got picked up to go get her haircut, so I might have to step away for a few minutes to go say hi to her and check out her new haircut, but I'll be back after that. I'm not sure when she's getting home. I'm not getting any straight answers. So here we go. Here we go. How's everybody's week been? How's everybody's week been? How's Star Citizen and the gaming universe treating everybody? I hope well. I hope well. I hope everybody's doing well. Let me get some stuff ready here while you guys let me know how you guys' week has been. The old personal account. Just me, not Mr. E, which, by the way, make sure you check out Marcus and Mr. E. Let's see if I can get it to come up here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
It's Can-Up! I'm not playing it, so doing really well. Why is it not coming up for Mr. E? I might have to look up the command for that one again. It's been a while since I've used it. It's been a while since I've used a lot of the commands, honestly, because they usually pop right on up. Let's see what command we got here for that one. Yeah, it should be that. I wonder why it's not working. I don't know why. But visit Mr. E. I think it's Mr. E00 on YouTube. So guys, let me talk about my Star Citizen experience as of late. I'm not really enjoying it as much. I thought giving it some extra time and playing around with master modes and whatnot, I thought it would be you guys know what my opinion is on master modes to begin with, but I really thought maybe if I just played it more, I'd get used to it and I'd like it. And well, I don't enjoy it, which really kind of kills the rest of the game for me. You know, a large portion of what you do in the game is all based on flying from point A to point B. What's up, squirrel?
Come on my dick.
I'm just, I don't know. I don't like master modes. I think it slows down the game far, far too much. And I'm not a fan. Like I said, I tried to give it a, what's up, Jim? I tried to give it a fair shot. I've played it a fair amount, just not on stream. And I can't get over it. The bunkers are, well, they're still bunkers. I haven't tried rock mining or salvaging or anything like that. But bunkers are still bunkers. They're the exact same as they were last year and the year before and the patch before that. It's nice though when you get on a lower pop server how reactive the AI is, but that's kind of always been the case. Get on a low pop server and the AI is pretty good and they actually shoot at you and it makes it a little bit more enjoyable. But honestly, when I play other games like for example Ready or Not, even poorly optimized Gray Zone, and other games of that genre, the AI is far better, far more reactive, actually tries to flank you and do just crazy stuff. And I find that experience a lot more enjoyable these days. So yeah, I hope everybody else is having fun with Star Citizen. I don't know. I thought it would be better if I just gave it some time. The rock is good if you don't put it in a cuddy. Wait a second. What do you mean if you don't put it in a cuddy? What's up, JT? What do you mean don't put it in a cuddy? Is there something wrong with the cuddy and the rock? Because that's like the go-to. The Nomad as well, but I don't like the Nomad. I don't know. I just don't like the Nomad. Ooh, meeting for JT. Ooh. Hey, Stream Elements finally joined. So while you guys finish talking about that, I figure we could get into some reacts. And yeah, let me change scenes here. Spam phone call. The Rock and Cuddy is like PB&J. I know, right? I know. Oh, I agree, Mystery. I hope other people are enjoying it. I have not been enjoying it as of late. I have decided to get I've been playing it late at night while I've been on overnights, and so I'd start off with like an hour or two of Star Citizen, and then I would end up playing Hearts of Iron 4 after that. Oh my goodness, that game is so much fun. So there's a lot. It was like I bought it and I played it and I thought it would be like every other strategy game, and which it is, but the way it works is a lot different than other games I had played. I had to watch a few YouTube videos just to figure out what the hell I was doing. But yeah, had fun with that. Let's see what's going on. I need to make like a stinger, that tuna can thing. I need to do it. I need to do it. Just do it, bro. Let's see. What are we gonna watch? Let's see. You know what? We'll start off with this one. This one was sent to me the other day. I haven't watched it yet. I generally
seem like a calm and reasonable person.
What
Hello,
the
Mr.
hell?
Danny Raymond.
Are you?
That's not the one I wanted.
Calm
What's up, Chase?
person.
What's going on, man?
If you would join us.
Jonathan, SC is unplayable. Same bugs as before, and it's just so boring now. I don't know. I kind of feel that way. I mean, it's a lot of the same bugs as before. Like the thing that really annoys me about a lot of this right now is the fact that we got a new star map, but the star map behaves the exact same way as the old star map. Now, don't get me wrong. It looks beautiful and, there's a search function, but all right, JT, thanks for stopping by. I like the search function, but man, like the fact that I'm still going into the map, clearing multiple times, setting a waypoint, and then jumping or not jumping, and then having to reset a bunch of times or clear my route a bunch of times, jump away to a moon, stop halfway, set it again. It's just so bleh. I haven't had any inventory bugs, but I have seen some interesting ones when it comes to loot. Yeah. I think so. Here's my before we get into this video, here's my whole take on it. I think if you've played a couple of years, and I don't mean like you play for a couple of months and then you take 8 months off, and then you play for a couple of months and then you take 8 months off. I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like if you play regularly over the last couple of years or 3 years or 4 years or whatever, I feel that there becomes less and less to do, and it becomes less and less fun unless you're with friends. But even then, sometimes doing what you're doing is just not fun. Like I don't know. It's hard to explain. So anyways, let's get on with it. This is Mr. E. Dumb ways to die in Star Citizen. I know I have plenty of dumb ways to die in Star Citizen. Why is my thing not working? Ugh. Let me know if sounds good.
Set fire to your
Oh, he's got it.
Poke a stick at a grizzly bear. Eat medicine that's out of date. Use your private parts as piranha bait. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb
I'm still getting in trouble for this, by the way.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways.
Oh, you're stuck in a box. Hey, it worked for Jim.
Get your toast out with a fork. Do your own electrical work. Teach yourself how to fly. Eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie.
We've all done it.
Dumb ways to die.
Is the Connie gonna land on him? Oh, please let the Connie land on him.
Dumb ways to die.
Please let the Connie land on him.
Invite a psycho killer inside. Scratch a drug dealer's brand new line. Take
Oh,
your
wow.
helmet off in outer space. Use a clothes dryer as a
Oops.
hiding
Once again,
place.
we've all done it. We've all done it. Some of us more than others. Wait a second. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you died after you ejected out. And then it still exploded.
Keep a rattlesnake as a pet. Sell both your kidneys on the internet.
Oh, hey, it's the Nomad.
A tube of super glue. I wonder what's this red button do? Dumb ways to die.
Oh, you don't have enough time to get out of the Vanguard. Maybe you do. I know the MSR you don't have much time to get out of.
So many dumb ways to die. Dress up like a moose during hunting season.
His ship disappeared.
Wasps for no good reason. Stand on the edge of a train station platform. Drive around the boom gates at a level crossing. Run across the tracks between the platforms. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly dumbest ways to die.
Somebody call Chaos Squad. We need a picture of that. Put it on Reddit.
Dumbest ways to die. Dumbest ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Be safe around trains. A message from Metro.
That was funny. That was really, really funny. Let's see if there's anything else. No? Okay. That was really good. That was really, really good. Guys, that was Mr. E. Go and check him out. He's a pretty funny dude. And by the way, if you did not know, he is the main character of Star Citizen. The rest of us here are just playing in his world. I'm just letting you guys know. All right.
Hello, this is Danny Raymond.
No. Let's go back to the list. I got to clear out my React list so bad. I have like 255 videos in here, and I need to get rid of some of them like badly. Real badly. Oh, no problem, Mr. E. I saw it come up, and then like 10 minutes later, I saw it get tossed into the React. So I was like, you know what? We'll save this one for a React. Now, oh, dude, Voidy is hilarious. I love Voidy. I think almost everybody here in chat loves Voidy. That guy is absolutely hysterical. I wish I could script funny like he does. I don't know how he does it. I need to figure out how he does that. Like if he just records and then watches it back and then writes the funny, or if he is like thinking this stuff up, like if is he just writing it and then matching the video up? I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. So you guys all know I'm a little bit of a stick junkie, a joystick junkie. I love joysticks. It's something that I've as far back as I've had a computer, different kinds of joysticks, playing with this is going to get clipped, and it's going to be taken out of context. But I like joysticks. I've owned a whole bunch of them, from you know, the little square one with the red button and the black button, and all the way on up to now VKBs. I've owned a bazillion different joysticks. I saw this video come up and I was like, you know what? I think you have to be South African to be as funny as Voidy. Hey, I had a while ago, there was a bunch of people in chat that were new, and Mason was here, and I convinced a bunch of people in chat that Mason and Voidy, Mason is also from South Africa, that he knew Voidy and was close personal friends with him. That only lasted for like 5 minutes before it got spoiled, but that was fun. That was real fun. So, joysticks.
Now look at that.
Here's one. This is the WinWing Ursa Minor flight stick, and this guy's going to do a little review on it. I have not seen any other videos other than this one yet so far, and let's see what he's got to say about these. He's got a nice mic. That's a Beacon. I like the mic arm too. I need to get one of those low profile ones as well. All right, let's go.
Now look at that. We've waited forever for an affordable yet high quality flight stick. It seems like we finally got it. Let's find out.
A little out of focus. Go back. Oh, I didn't. Let's see. It looks like it's got 1, 2 hat buttons. I'm not sure if that's a hat or not. I wonder, that must be like a joystick. And then, you know, your red button. This could be a hat right here too. So it looks like it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 hats on it. That's not bad. It's got its little slider right here. Some base controls down here at the bottom on the right-hand side. I wonder if there's some on the left as well.
The Winwing
Value
Ursa
King.
Minor releases today and will be available for purchase at $110 or
That's not bad.
105 euros.
That's
Which
not
seems
bad.
like a bargain considering the technologies and materials used. My testing was performed with pre-production samples provided to me by Winwing. The stick comes in 2 configurations, classic and with a C extension, which will especially
That's
please
nice.
our space jockeys. Of course, this means that the grip can also be either right or left-handed. It arrives
Ooh.
pre-assembled, so all you need to do is to plug in the included USB-C cable and start gaming. On the base, we find 14 buttons distributed evenly to both sides.
Look at that. 2, 4, 6, 7, 14 buttons on the base. Not bad, not bad. And then it's got its slider right here.
A potentiometer-based throttle slider with 38 millimeters of physical stroke and some non-RGB
He said stroke. Ooh, it's got lights. Everybody, it's got lights. Buy the lights. Buy it. It's got lights.
lighting. It can be configured to either on-off, pulse, or it adjusts to the throttle control. On the front side of the grip are a 2-way
Canop's
rapid-fire
always
trigger,
ready to
a
bust my
dual-stage
balls.
trigger, a 4-way hat, and a pinky button. Attached to
pinky
the
button.
back are 3 more hats, 3 buttons, and a pushable analog mini-stick with a circular profile.
Nice.
The general ergonomics are great, although I'm missing an adjustable palm rest since my hands are a bit on the smaller side. Every input is within reach comfortably, although not quite on the level of VKB's Gladiator. And I know that's the comparison you all want to see.
His Commodore
But
shirt.
still,
I know Jim,
very good at a cheaper price.
Jim brought it
Both
up.
list
but
a
that's
deflection
nice.
angle of 20 degrees. To me though, it feels like the Gladiator has a bit more deflection on both axes. That wasn't an issue during my testing with, for example, in the black, IL-2 Sturmovik, Star Citizen, and DCS. Inputs are nice and smooth. All axes, including twist, are contactless, of course, which corresponds to the current state of the art. The twist axis also has a deflection of 20 degrees, which means enough travel range to allow for precise control. It's also lockable. The grips and buttons, as well as the base, feel quite sturdy. I feel the material give in slightly when I apply strong pressure though.
My daughter was
This
talking to me,
doesn't
guys.
happen with the Gladiator. However, the overall stability is still pretty good and far beyond products like the T16000, the X52 and the X56 or the Turtle Beach flight deck. The gap tolerances of
Okay. I see what you said there, Blaze. I don't like RGB. I've been looking at computer parts and stuff like that because in the next year-ish or so, I plan on possibly building a new computer. It's harder to find components that don't have RGB than do have RGB, and it's absolutely annoying. If I wanted my computer to look like a Christmas tree, I would just go get some Christmas lights from downstairs and wrap my PC case in it and be done with it. I don't want RGB RAM, RGB motherboard, RGB fans, RGB coolers. I'm trying to think of what I'm surprised there's not RGB power supplies. You're never going to see the damn thing, but I'm surprised there isn't RGB power supplies. I like it's annoying. It's really, really annoying. I don't like it. I don't like it. And yeah, Marcus, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's definitely enough buttons for
grip shells are uniform and clean.
Star Citizen.
Both grip and base are made of industrial grade ABS. The gimbal is composed of fiberglass reinforced nylon. Gimbal. That's a good cue. Let's turn the base around and take a very close look. On the bottom of the base are a bunch of anti-slip pads. They keep the unit in place like glued to the table. Their size and quality are not a surprise, but
Now, I wonder if they make mounts for these yet. And if they do, how are they going to attach? Because I didn't see a good... Let me go back just a little bit.
Gimbal. That's a good cue. Let's turn the base around.
Yeah, I don't see any spots unless they're underneath here where the screws would go in for a mount, which kind of sucks. And then the other thing, so if any of you VKB users didn't know this, when you got your joysticks, there is a piece of metal or plastic, I think it's metal, that you can use to actually lock out axis, you know, the y-axis or the x-axis on your joystick. You can also, if you didn't know this, if you wanted it to make it more like a throttle, you can also remove the y-axis spring or x-axis, depending on what you're doing, and you can make it more like a throttle instead of a joystick. So I do like VKB for the modularity when it comes to that sort of thing. And like I said, I'm a little disappointed it doesn't have any mounting points, but like I said, maybe they have them underneath these little slip covers right here, these circle ones, but I don't know.
And take a very close look. On the bottom of the base are a bunch of anti-slip pads.
I mean, you
they
can
keep
use
the unit in place like glue to the table. Their size and quality are not a surprise, but rather required, as the base plate is not made of metal. So the Ursa Minor is significantly lighter than a VKB Gladiator. Above and below the access panel are 2 screw holes for fixed mount. No tools needed to open the hatch, just flip it open and that's it. What we find in there has a striking resemblance to the Gladiator's gimbal. To be frank, it's almost identical. It's a pincer design with ball bearings, springs and dampers. This means you could possibly swap the springs or remove them to transform the stick into a throttle unit.
Okay, so
adjusting
you can do
the dampers makes it stay in place instead of recentering, which is great for helicopters also.
Oops,
there are 2 dampers for the y-axis and 1 for x, which means that the latter are weaker. The dampers are less capable than the Gladiators, but still good enough to do their job properly. The means to lock out an axis also are included within the package. To put things into perspective for you,
how about that?
The gimbal is better than that of the Thrustmaster Warthog. Not the EVA base, but the standard gimbal. But not on the level of the Whirlpool Warbird or Winwing Orion 2. For the stated price though, that's incredible value.
Trust me, I would love
it. A bonus are the integrated vibration motors, which give tactile
DayZ.
feedback in DCS. Let's take a look now at the buttons and hats. The throttle slider doesn't wiggle, moves smoothly, and comes with an integrated dust cover. The buttons on either side of the grip provide good tactile feedback and have different textures to allow for blind operation. The hats use nav switches, which are cheaper than the switch clusters the Gladiator uses. They also come with a few drawbacks, like being less snappy and some factory variation in looseness. They still
so that's where they're saving the money at. They went with cheaper boards for the switches.
Still function quite well though. The dual stage trigger gives different acoustic and haptic feedback depending on the active stage. The rapid fire trigger activates instantly in one direction, but has a little bit of play into the other. Put me off.
You know what? On my left stick, I use this little button right here. I pull it in, I drop flares, push it out, drop noise. That's what I use it for. I don't use it for shooting. I use the regular trigger for shooting. And even then with the two-stage red trigger, I don't have both fire groups bound to it, because I found in Star Citizen when I use the dual stage trigger, if I pull one and fire, or if I want to use group 2 and I pull through all the way to fire group 2, it fires both groups at the same time, and I don't like always firing both groups at the same time. So I have them split. Taking a break, 3.23.0 is making you mad. Please do tell. Please, please. I'm hearing a lot of that lately.
A bit in the beginning, but I quickly got used to it. I can't find any bad words about the mini stick.
What's
it's
up, Rhino? How
fine.
you doing?
Now let's quickly check how the inputs sound and feel before we get to the pros and cons.
Yes, let's get to the pros and cons. that's loud buttons. Yeah, I suppose the VKBs aren't much louder, or aren't much quieter.
My overall experience with the Ursa Minor was excellent so far. The materials and finish are great for the price. What I think could be improved are the wobbly heads and the noticeable center bump, which is a design flaw of the pincer gimbal construction used. The VKB Gladiator also suffers from the same issues though. WinWing software also is a bit bare bones and gives the impression it's been developed on the side. There's a lot of room for improvement.
I'm playing with my joysticks while
Otherwise, I can only recommend the Ursa wholeheartedly. If the quality also withstands long-term endurance tests and quality insurance is on point, time will tell. What we have here is the new entry-level reference. I'll do a full teardown in the near future. Until then, you might check out the best pedals below 300 euro here. Thanks for watching, fly safe, and see you.
Those pedals are pretty nice. They're pretty nice. I mean, I have pedals too, but they're not like this. They're just regular racing pedals. I have an accelerator, a brake, and a clutch. That's it. The accelerator and the clutch I have set up as a slider, and I use that for forward backwards on Star Citizen. I don't use space brakes. There's nothing but I don't use space brakes at all. I just change vectors and that's it. So yeah, that was the new budget joystick. It looks cool. It looks cool. We'll have to see what other reviews say. We'll have to see what other reviews say. So I'll share that with you guys. Yeah, that was I don't know. I'm kind of a joystick junkie, so I like it. I really do. I like it. Let's get back. I don't know. Do you guys have B is the space brake? I really like VKBs. I really like VKBs. I like the fact that when I ordered mine, I ordered a bunch of the replacement parts to go with it. So when you get the premium ones, you do get replacement parts for it, as well as alternate buttons. And I ordered extras of those. And then I ordered, so my left stick is technically an omni throttle, but once I knew I might want to go upright with it, so I bought the upright adapter for it. And yeah, when I got my pedals, I switched it back to upright, or I switched it to upright. I like it. I really like it. B puts you into B puts you into master mode. Okay. I never space I've never seen space bake work for me. I just hit S and shift. Yeah, that works. One thing that I like to do too, so let's say I'm flying in this direction. One thing that I'll like to do is if I'm going way too fast and I need to stop like now, I'll flip the ship, hit bottom thrust, and boost. So I'm pushing away. That'll work for me. It usually works for me. Oh yeah, for sure, Mr. E, for sure. And his space brake. You know, you guys are gonna mess with me, and I don't use mouse and keyboard when I'm flying. So if I ever have to go back, I'm gonna be pushing all these buttons, being like, "Well, chat said this," and I'm gonna be turning on and turning off things. But don't try to trick me with the backspace. I know what backspace does. No, I won't try that in a reclaimer. But decoupled in space might work. That might work. But it's been a while since I've played in flown around in a reclaimer. But so when I got back into 3.23.0, right? We're still in 0, right? Oh, and for landing gear. Jim, you're killing me, man. I had multiple ships that got wiped in the not wipe. My reclaimer, my mantis. What else got taken? My Hornet Ghost. My Tally, and there was one other ship. There was one other ship that got pulled away, but whatever. I barely used them anyways. I really did. I used the reclaimer. I got like 15, or I got like 18 million. Got a reclaimer, scraped, hull munched a few times, and put it away and never used it again. So meh. But I still have my A2, my M2. Oh, the C2 got taken. That was the other one that got taken. Obviously my pledge ships, and then you know, a couple others like the Sentinel, and I'm trying to remember my Hornet F7 Mark 1 RIP, soon to be retired. But yeah, I mean, like it wasn't that big of a deal. It really wasn't. A2 prices are insane. I agree. Yeah, oh, that force space break. yeah, that's very true, Rhino. That's very, very, very true. Very true. Reclaimer is life. What's up, Guardian? How you doing, man? Guys, if you haven't, check out Guardian. He does a lot of really cool industrial guides, mostly salvaging from what I've seen lately. Yes, I do watch your stuff, Guardian. But yeah. So I figured we would do something a little not Star Citizen. I, for one, am a Battletech and Mech Warrior junkie. Now, I am not that well versed in what's happened from right around like 2004-ish into today as far as like the lore with Battletech. But what's cool about Battletech and Mech Warrior is that the rules have stayed the same generally for the last, let's see, I stopped playing around 2003, 2004. So for the last 20 years, the rules have pretty much stayed the exact same. They've made little minor tweaks, but nothing like crazy. And then they made a simplified version so you can play a game in like 30 minutes. But for the most part, it stayed the same. Now, I love Battletech. I love Mech Warrior. I love the lore. I love the history. I love playing the game when I get a chance. Yes, I've tried dragging my daughters into it. It's quite fun. It's a lot of fun. They get a little bored with it, but they like the robots, and they got an imagination, so it works out all right most of the time. All right. So let's check this out. This is Science Insanity. I don't think I've ever watched one of his videos, and this is called What It's Like to Be a Mech Warrior.
Being a mech warrior in Battletech is one of the greatest occupations imaginable, but one that comes with the very, very real chance of burning out your brain, dying young and violently, or worse, living crippled beyond repair without an heir. To be a mech warrior is to be society's new man, to be different, to be more, to be better than the average person they put in shadow as they walk past. They live lives of adventure, glory, and life-threatening, pulse-pounding adrenaline.
So a lot of times, like your general lifespan being a mech warrior is Salty. What's up, man?
Stay a while and listen.
The general thing with being a mech warrior is you most of the time only get through like maybe 2 battles, and then you're usually dead. It's one of those things that your life expectancy is pretty short. Also, go visit Salty Balls. I believe he is on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have a link for him at the moment.
Adrenaline-fueled Mortal Kombat, but most people don't really know what it's like being a mech warrior. They don't know about the utter misery that piloting a battle mech actually is, and they don't know how difficult life can and often will be for mech warriors, and they certainly don't know or understand how common destitution and failure are. But despite it all, being a mech warrior is one heck of a ride, and I'm going to explain everything.
So I got the, I actually have it right here. Right here, guys. This is the complete compendium to all the rules and advanced warfare and combined arms warfare for BattleTech. It's a relatively thick book. This came out in 1994, and the slogan, it's kind of bluish green, so it won't show up, but the slogan for BattleTech, life is cheap, battle mechs are expensive, kind of gives you the whole rundown on how life is viewed in the inner sphere, which is their galaxy. It's our galaxy, just all their habitable planets. Life is very cheap in their universe, and basically, if there's a hardened target and they send a few regiments of battle mechs at it and they can't get it, they fairly quickly resort to nukes, biological and chemical weapons. Very quickly. Woo, you're getting your PC back, Salty. Congratulations.
And how a mech warrior becomes something more than human once they enter their machine.
Yes, plug your channel, Salty.
If that interests you, stick around. We've got many things to cover and many memes to share. Not the clans, though. This is a very inner sphere focused video, since the clans are weird and icky and dumb, and they can go be off in their own video somewhere else, well beyond inner sphere territory, just like...
Alright, for those of you that don't know, you have the inner sphere, which is the galaxy of I almost said Star Citizen, of BattleTech. See, I think I have a map of it. Yeah, right here. And in the middle of that big colorful mess is Terra, or Earth, and basically in their past, they had a UN type governing sphere. It kind of kept the 5 great houses, or the 5 great families, in check. Everything was great for about 1,000 years. Then some shit happened. The Star League, their UN, fell apart, and the Star League Defense Force tried to wage a war and win everything back, and then hand it back over to the houses, and the houses were like, well, I'm going to be the first lord, and the other house was like, I'm going to be first lord, and it started a whole big war, and the Star League army was like, fuck this shit, we're out. They leave, 300 years pass, they come back, and they're no longer the Star League. Now they're the clans, and they're freaking weirdos. They got really cool tech, but they're weirdos.
They should have stayed in the lore. But first, introductions. Welcome to Science Insanity, a channel dedicated to bringing my love of sci-fi and all its glory to you, the viewer. I'm a professional idiot, part-time turbo nerd, and hopefully I can entertain you for a little bit and earn that like or subscribe.
I guess I would be considered a professional idiot as well.
Content, let's get started with something simple and easy. How do you actually become a mech warrior? What's the enlistment like? What's the training like? What's the early life like? Do you get severance? Dental coverage? Well, to put it simply, it depends on who's teaching you where and why. First thing I want to immediately punt into the nearest sun is the idea you'll be brought up by a group like the Northwind Highlanders or Grey Death Legion, or the main characters in all the mech warrior games. You will not be those guys. No. Even in the setting, those guys are insane and over the top. What's almost guaranteed is you're either enlisted and heading off to war college, or you're getting your parents' skills and kills passed down to you. The first option, you're going to need to be tenuously middle class and of the correct type of citizen. In some rare cases, though, your upbringing could involve piloting industrial or agricultural mechs, so you'll have some pre-existing aptitude with it, and you can convince someone from a higher nobility to sponsor you, as we see in the book trilogy Rogue Academy, where some orphans after a combine...
Now, here's another cool thing, too. The BattleTech universe, they have a lot of novels. I've read... probably about 20 of them, maybe 24-ish, 25-ish. And a lot of them are really good if you're into, depending on what book series you pick up out of them. If you're into like spy versus spy, political intrigue, sabotage and things like that, there's books for you. If you like more of the like straight up, like war and battle type, and brotherhood bonding through war and all of that, there's books for that. I haven't read all of their stuff.
Doing, bro?
But there's a lot of really good books. Some of them are really good, and then some of them are pretty bleh. But yeah, there's some good ones out there. There's some good ones.
Attack gets sponsored into a program. For the most part, the successor states rely on a sort of low nobility filling out most of their ranks of mech warriors because of how expensive and important the actual mechs are. They don't want any random peasant piloting them, they want people actually invested in the society. Except the Federated Sons, sorta, that's actually pretty close to real life, where you can apply, go through basic grunt school, prove you have the chops, and test your way
Federated
into war
Sons
college
are
to
like
become a mech
the
warrior.
good guys.
But you'll always be at a disadvantage compared to the nobles with connections and friends in high places. But regardless of how you do it, if you go this route, you're guaranteed to get decent training. You'll spend years being drilled hard, you'll spend years practicing hard and learning the basics of everything from mech operations to tactics and strategy in a fight. One thing I should note is that this is a bit of a genetic coin flip. In order to use a battle mech, you need to be able to interface with a neuro helmet. Everyone can use one, but most people get really sick or disoriented. If your parents are mech warriors...
It's pretty cool, like the neuro helmets. Look, this is like that picture that you're seeing right here, that's a really early rendition of it from the early 80s, I want to say this is from, or mid 80s that's from. When they kind of revamped it and how the technology looks in the 90s, and then again going into the 2000s. They made them look cooler and more sleek, but yeah, it's a neural helmet, it slips on your head and allows you to interact with the mech and make the controls and everything feel more natural. So, you know, when you're moving in your mech, it doesn't feel all, I mean, it's still going to feel blocky, but not quite as bad. You can, if some of your electronic equipment gets hit, obviously, since this is linking with your brain, yes, you can suffer brain trauma.
You're pretty much guaranteed to be compatible as well. But once you've graduated from whatever war machine school you went to, then you're in for years of sweet fuck all. Here's the thing. There's a saying in Battletech. It goes along the lines of kill the meat to save the metal, and that's basically saying murk the dipshit in the cockpit to save the machine he's in. A battle mech is very much so more valuable than your life, so what's most likely to happen as a newbie is you're going to be shipped off to some garrison where you get to pilot a mech for a few hours a month.
Okay, so he's not going to explain it. So in the Battletech universe, remember how I was talking about their version of the UN that led them for 1,000 years of peace and prosperity, you know, until the Empire, until the dark times. But so during that time, they built all kinds of battle mechs, mostly for the Star League, their UN army, and they got all the coolest, the highest, the highest tech, the best armor, all of that stuff. And these mechs were made all the way up until then. Now, after the fall of the Star League, there was what became a period of basically 300 years of nonstop warfare. And after the first and then the second succession war, which was combined, I believe, 60 years, they pretty much annihilated they pretty much annihilated any and all means of producing new mechs. All they could really do was fabricate new or replacement parts for the mechs that are in service. So when you play games like MechWarrior 5, what's up, Mason? When you play games like MechWarrior 4, MechWarrior 5, or even the older ones like MechWarrior 1, MechWarrior 2, Mech Commander, etc., most of the mechs that you're actually running across in those games are 400 years old, 500 years old, and have been just cobbled back together piece after piece to get back out on the battlefield. It's very rare in the Battletech universe that you find a place that's capable of producing new battle mechs. So that's kind of an interesting lore piece for me is that they blew themselves backwards to the point where they can't replace anything. Oh, the first 2 Succession Wars were absolute total annihilation. As I said, like they were flinging nukes like snot rockets and chemical weapons, biological weapons. They sterilized well over 100 planets in the first Succession War, and I think it was somewhere like 180 billion people dead in the first, and just in the first one. And that's insanity.
To keep your basic qualifications until a war starts.
We'll let this go for a little while.
Starts, because this is BattleTech.
I don't want to bore you guys with me nerding out over an IP that most of you guys haven't heard of
into battle
or
and
got
prove
deep
yourself.
into.
You might then ask, why? Why not put new mech warriors in like light mechs or something, and then bulk out the front lines? And I reiterate, mechs are more valuable than people because people can be replaced, and mechs often
very much so,
cannot.
Jim.
And we don't exactly have a huge number of mechs lying around. Comstar makes well and truly sure of that. The veterans get the good stuff, the heroes get the powerful stuff, and mech warriors don't part from their...
Comstar is Space AT&T. Their lore is so deep, I don't want to get too big into it, but Comstar is Space AT&T. They also want to bring about a second Star League, but they're doing it in a more devious and long-term plan by hampering the great houses from procuring too much armament and blowing themselves into nothing, while keeping what they find or keeping certain technologies for themselves.
Mechs or a unit without dying first. You, dear Greenhorn, get the old, light, dodgy-legged mechs in reserve and will spend your time guarding convoys, doing backline patrols, and rushing to hurry up and wait. Ideally, a bunch of people kick it during a breakthrough and you're part of the group that stops it. Hooray!
MechWarrior 5,
pushes you up
the
and you're now in the
game
bigger toys on the front
is
lines,
good, but it gets a little
stomping
boring. If
you're on the front lines.
Download mods for it,
and this is really how it goes
up,
for the average
takes
nobody.
It from here.
You work hard, bust your ass, come out ahead of all your peers, and then get kicked right back down to the bottom of the shit heap, since having disposable mech warriors on hand is about as common and useful as spare parts and ammo.
Yes.
It's important to mention that a lot of mercenaries and pirates come from
I mean, think about this here. For this lore, like, you are so worthless, you as a meatbag. All right, Salty, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. If like your life in this universe is so cheap compared to just like a reload of autocannon rounds for one of these mechs, that's they would rather you die and them keep the rest of the machine or even parts off of the machine than keep you around. It's crazy.
People, highly trained, good at killing, but stuck doing dick all in the military. Just like real life. So one day, they're on mission, they turn off their transponder and just walk away with the mech to go join some mercenaries or something. Or, once they're finished their service, they look for work with merc outfits as a pre-trained, willing mech warrior for hire. And hey, this way, even if it is a shitty light mech with a borked leg, at least it's yours now. As for the other possibility, well, you're born into it. This is pirates,
good
mercenaries,
game is
and noble houses. While the common grunts and low nobles end up having a bad time of things from the...
It's just called BattleTech. Harebrained Schemes made it. I think it came out in 2019. That's another really fun version of this universe. It is a turn-based game similar to like Final Fantasy Tactics and Front Mission and games like that, but it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. They have melee in it and death from above. Melee kicking and punching, and then death from above, my favorite, taking a heavier mech and jumping or walking off of a cliff onto a smaller mech and just smashing it into pieces. Good fun.
glory and adventure angle, important nobles often have legacies to uphold and generational mechs that have been passed down for centuries. A proper noble family might have multiple. So if you're the little lordling, then you'll be brought up from an early age and trained to take over that position. You'll also receive cushy postings in any actual battles that keep you relatively safe.
I don't want to bore you guys too much.
Through officer school to get your own command relatively quickly.
I can stop this so we can find something
possible,
a little bit
though
more fun.
Even more rare than nobles, surprisingly enough, since most mercenaries don't live long enough to have kids, and those that do are often main character levels of plot armored. Being the kid to a successful merc means learning everything they did and taking on all their skills and tricks to survive the trade. But
Natasha Kerensky from Wolf's Dragoons. Wolf Dragoons are like the best merc unit in the game.
By the time you're ready to head out into the field, you'll be more than practiced and knowledgeable than most other newbie mech warriors in the setting by necessity, since canonically, mercs die like flies, average of 3 to 5 months life expectancy. And then we get to pirates, periphery soldiers, and random planetary militias.
I could go on.
Look, I'm going to be real with you. You're not.
I could go on with this for hours and hours and hours. I love BattleTech. As I said, I'm not well versed in the comings and goings of what's happened in the last couple of years. If I'm going to do a lore video, I'm going to find a better one than this. I found this. I thought it would be cool, but his audio, I can barely hear him. And I thought it would be a little bit more exciting, but it's more blah, blah than anything else. And I'm having to explain a lot for him, so you guys kind of know what's going on. But I'll find something a little bit more exciting than this. That kind of like takes everything we've seen from that and mushes it up to one. This is by far one of the coolest universes, by far. But yeah, I think one of the reasons why I'm so big into it is because it was such a big part of my childhood. Because I started playing this game back in like 1991, and I didn't stop playing. I played with the same group. We started off as a group of 12. A group of 12 playing literally every Friday and Saturday night from about 1991, 1992, all the way until about 2003. There was only 2 or 3 of us left by 2003. Early 2003, and then the other 2 kind of dipped out as well. You know, people got married, went to college. One of them passed away. It was a good time though. I really do miss that time of my life. Anyways, enough reminiscing. Let's do artificial scarcity. This is by
Hello, citizens.
This is by the Space Coder. Star Citizen Artificial Scarcity. Let's go, baby.
And welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the sunsetting of the Hornet Mark 1 and what it might mean for other ships in the future. As always, if you like this video, sacrifice a like and a comment to the YouTube algorithm and subscribe for more. And here's a shout out to amazing patrons for their support of the channel and the armory.
Do this for my members.
With the recent release of the Anvil Hornet Mark II, we all assumed that the Mark 1 and the Mark II would coexist and both be available for purchase in-game and for real money. But according to a recent official announcement, this is not true. The Mark 1 will be retired from in-game stores and the Pledge store and won't be available.
How are you guys finding distribution centers? I know that's not what the video is about, but how are you guys finding them? I still jump on various people's streams and I still see people falling through them and missions not completing. But I mean, missions not completing, that happens anywhere in Star Citizen, but I see a lot of people still falling through these things and yeah, which sucks.
Available for purchase after Invictus. Now, there are a few caveats to this. The ship will remain flyable and the owners will still have access to it, and it will be earnable in the game through events and missions. The Mark 1 will also receive a gold standard pass, and it will be tuned and balanced as needed. So really not much has happened, besides that it can no longer be purchased, at least on the surface. Along with this change, CIG are also reducing the in-game availability of some of the bespoke parts for the Hornet, specifically the turret mounts. This is not a massive change, but it does make things more complicated for players who own the Mark 1 and might be looking for spare parts. However, there might be some greater implications and concerns. This might have been a one-time thing. After all, there was some talk of the...
I have noticed that some of the bunkers you have to fight your way in. Like you fight guys on the outside and then fight your way in, which is really cool. And I would love if they did that around some of the small, around the standard bunkers. But you know, I guess we got to take the wins where we get them or something like that. That's what I would like.
Mark II replacing the Mark I some years back when it was originally announced, in which case this is fine from a mechanical standpoint. Some people might also argue that CIG didn't want to maintain two almost identical ships at the same time. But the Mark I will remain flyable and maintained moving forward, so they have to do that anyway. On the other hand, not having Mark I and Mark II variants in the store at the same time might remove some confusion, especially for new players or players who haven't been around for the release of the Mark II. But overall, there is no strong reason these two ships should or shouldn't exist side by side. But what if this is not a one-time thing? With the Hornet, it was known for a while.
I didn't know for a while, and I try to pride myself on knowing a lot about Star Citizen. I didn't know it was going to get retired. I didn't know that that was something they talked about years ago, but apparently it was, and it's always been the plan. I think they jumped the gun on the plan by releasing the Mark II the way they did. I thought that that was going to be something that was, you know, another one of those ships that were possibly earnable with Squadron 42, but I guess I was wrong, or it was a money grab, as we like to say around here. I don't know, but now that it's out, it's like the most OP ship, and they say it's because it's a bug with the way it can strafe and pitch and roll and all of that. All the numbers are like double what the other ships are right now, and the acceleration. So it's a bit OP at the moment. But yeah, I didn't know that they were going to retire it. I think retiring the Mark I don't think it's a good idea. I think I don't want to say it's full-blown FOMO, but it's definitely a thing that they're trying to, you know, I can see it in a couple of years time, 3-4 years time, you know, people selling Mark I's for double, maybe even triple what they were originally selling them for, just because they're rare now, or at least to own one, like to have in your hangar anyways.
That the Mark II variant is being made, and it will eventually replace the Mark I. At least from a lore perspective, we didn't exactly expect it to be gone from the stores as well. So what stops CIG from, for example, creating a Constellation Mark II and discontinuing the existing Connie? Well, in theory, nothing. But in practice, it would be a bit counterproductive to try to make new versions of existing ships, since the ship pipeline is pretty busy as it is. I would maybe...
Yeah, the ship pipeline is deep, and some of the, you know, some. I was talking with Moon, Tactical Ferrets, Pagan. I'm trying to remember who else was involved in that conversation. There might have been another one. I had the same conversation with Grumpy, Fateless, Guardian, and I'm not sure if Carl was there or not. And the conversation was revolving around the ship pipeline. And I'm going to mess it up now, but we were talking about the last 2 years of Star Citizen and what ships have they completed from the older ships from the pipeline in the last 2 years. What ships have been completed? Now, The Hull C is 1. You could slightly argue the Retaliator because now it's got its modularity. But let's take the last 2 years of ship releases, right? All these straight to flyables and then the ones that go into concept, right? How many ships have they now added to the pipeline? All right, I'll try to do it in order and hopefully not miss one of them. But you got the Spirit E1, you have the Zeus MR, CL, and ES. You have 2 different versions of the Ironclad. What else am I missing here? The Galaxy. So we're up to 7 now. What else? I might be missing one. I can't remember if we were at 8. It was between 7 and 9. It was 7 to 9 ships they've added to the pipeline now. And to me, that's not a good thing. You're not getting rid of that debt. You're adding on to it. And look, I get it. We need new ships. Well, I don't. But you have to sell new ships to keep the process going, to make more money, to keep the funding going, to keep the dream alive, etc., etc. But you're not getting rid of the debt that you owe backers right now. There's ships that have been sitting in the pipeline. Oops. There's ships that have been sitting into the pipeline that are not getting worked on, and they need to come out. Like, you know, the biggest one is the Banu Merchantman. People bought it 9 years ago for, what was it, $600 or something like that, and it's still not done, and we have no idea when it's gonna be done. So yeah, adding to that debt. The Crucible, when did they put that one out? When did they announce that one? Because I'm just trying to go off of the last 2 years. I came in just after Invictus 2 years ago.
We expect this to happen post-release, similar to,
you know, other people. When we were talking about that, other people have a lot of other pledged ships that I completely forget about it. What was the other one? I think Grumpy has an Endeavor. What? Oh, Remy's back. Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. One moment. sorry about that, gentlemen. It was my my daughter and my mother-in-law well, my daughter came back and my mother-in-law was here, so I had to talk with her about what was going on and all of that. And it's nothing bad. It's just took my daughter to get a haircut, and yeah, she looks good. She looks good. Shit, I can apply to your addiction analogy or to any hobby. It doesn't matter what game. We're all grown ass men playing video games. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Hold on. Now my wife is texting me. Everything is happening at once, everybody. All right. I swear to God, if she tells me, go downstairs and write me a list of everything, I'm going to be really upset. All right. So I think where we left off was blah, 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 ships, blah, 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 more ships, blah, 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 added more ships. We haven't gotten enough of the ones from the back end out in a while. So yeah. Let's get more of these other ships from the back end out before we start adding more ships to the tech debt. I really think if you were to, you thought it was a bio break. I was on the crapper. So, I would like to see some of those older ships get out. I think ships like the Apollo, I think it's the Crucible, the one that repairs ships and stuff like that. I think if you get certain ones out, you'll make a lot of money by releasing those. And, you know, not only are you going to have people that originally pledged for them when they came into concept, but you're going to have new people pledge for those ships as well. I, for one, am not pledging any more ships. So, good luck, CIG. I hope you do well with your future ship pledges, but no more ship pledges for me. Thank you very much.
To what Elite Dangerous is doing now with the Python Mark II. The big concern here is, as always, marketing and sales. Pulling a ship from sale creates the ultimate case of artificial scarcity. And with the Hornet Mark II, we saw CAG exploited to the...
You can see ship scarcity during Invictus as soon as they start talking about the Javelin and the Icarus, and they only have like 5 for sale. It's ridiculous.
Fullest with more than the usual amount of FOMO, which I think is what backers are upset about more than the sunsetting of the Hornet Mark I. In the grand scheme of things, removing a ship from the store is not that big of a deal, especially since the current owners are giving an opportunity to either keep their Mark Is or to upgrade to the Mark II. On the other hand, there is a fear that in the future CAG could try to pull certain ships from sale even without creating a Mark II replacement. In practice, this would probably not work. I would say that the Hornet situation is a very specific case. In the future, removing a ship from sale without replacing it with a Mark II variant would probably actually result in
guys. Cuddy series Mark II? More welding, less duct tape? Right?
A loss of profit. So, is this going to happen again? Probably not. As far as I know, there are no other ships in the pipeline that are designed as a replacement for an existing ship. And like I said before, doing so would require a lot of effort from an overextended team. So I don't think we will see any more Mark IIs of ships in the near future.
Overextension of the shipbuilding team is by far... Well, that's just an understatement. Now, I don't know what it's at now. I would assume it's only gotten longer since they've added 7 to 9 ships. I would have to go back through and actually write them down this time when I do it. But last year IAE, not 2023, 2022's IAE, it was 48 years of labor hours to complete the ships in the pipeline. So they got a long ways to go. Modular Cuddy.
But CAG should...
Well, the Cuddy... So I don't know if you guys know this or not. I found out a few months ago, and Grumpy showed me the videos for it. The Cuddy was originally supposed to be modular. It was just the base Cuddy black, and then you could add modules to turn it into the Cuddy red, the Cuddy blue, and yeah. But that got turned into turning them into variants. So now you have the Cuddy blue, the Cuddy red, the Cuddy black, and the Cuddy steel. Yeah. Maybe we'll get a Cuddy purple next.
Also consider decreasing the intensity of their marketing campaigns. And with that being said, that's all for today. What do you think?
What do I think? I think it's I don't want to say, okay, maybe I will say money grab. It's just a way to grab some more money, create some, as he said, artificial scarcity, and try to be try to get that little extra money where they can. You know, they just hit 700 million. I know, you know, people talk about games like Grand Theft Auto 6 costing between $1 and $2 billion. You got mobile gacha games that make, you know, $1 billion a year. And so I know it's not that much money, but at the same time, it's a lot of money. And I feel we should be a bit further along in the progression than we are now. But, you know, it is what it is. And yeah. So I'll share that with you guys. I liked it. I liked that video. It was good. There's no ranting, no raving, no the world is ending or anything like that. That was pretty good. It was pretty good. So let me go back down this huge list of 951 videos in the React queue. Honestly, I was hoping that the Drake Cutter series would be module and not, what is it? Three different variants. You got the Cutter, the Rambler, and whatever the scanning one is called. I don't like it. I was really hoping that those would be modular, but hey, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let's do you know what, Ray's guide. Let's watch some Ray's guide. This is Star Citizen, how I think CIG should do Death of a Spaceman. Let me get this going here.
Raymond.
Okay. Death of a Spaceman, depending on who you talk to, is a rather contentious subject. There's a lot of people that don't want it to happen. There's people that do want it to happen. And then there's people like me where I'm more in the middle, where I think it will happen, but what they have written down from 2015, 2016 is, I think Genshin or something like that. I forget what games they are, but yeah, it's some of those make, you know, super serious money, like almost billions, 2 billions a year, every year. It's crazy. Firebird should have been modular. Yes, I believe the Firebird should have been modular. There's a lot of ships that should be modular that aren't. The Vanguard series, that's another series of ships that would be it's a prime candidate for being modular. I'm trying to think of some other ships right now that could be modular. You know, single seat fighters, I can understand not being modular, but some of the larger ships should have been modular. So I guess maybe the Firebird shouldn't be modular, but it also could be modular. I don't know. I'd have to think on that one. The Vanguard, I think, is a prime example of being modular. The Scorpius could be modular with the Antares and the regular Scorpius. That could be a modular thing. At least I think so, anyways. I don't know. Give me some other ideas of ships that you feel that could be modular in a way. Don't you dare say Carrick. It's already modular. Well, it doesn't have its modules, but it's already modularity. But yeah, so Death of a Spaceman, you get a lot of varying opinions on how it should work, when it should be implemented, how it should be implemented, what the penalties are, what the penalties shouldn't be, etc. It's a very God damn it, Jim. There's a lot of as I said, there's a lot of controversy surrounding Death of a Spaceman. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near like what they're saying it's going to be written on their website that came out in like 2015, 2016. When you look it up, I forget when it was that they put that out, but I think the Caterpillar is supposed to be modular. The Avenger, that's actually a good one. The Avenger series, that could possibly be modular too. It's got enough room in it, I think.
The voice behind Ray's guy. The Invictus launch week has had
the Warden, if I remember correctly, the Wardens are supposed to have the whole middle section come out and be like a lifeboat, but I think they scrapped that idea. So I don't know. I don't know. But they should have been modular, and it may have been initially pitched as a modular ship, and then they released variants. So I don't know.
A side effect of reinvigorating a lot of discussion, much of it contentious, about the subject of medical and death in Star Citizen. And part of all that is the impression that between the way in which the medical Ursa was pitched, along with apparently divergent things said at various times by Chris Roberts and others, it is hard to know what to believe is going to be happening, particularly with associated mechanics like incapacitation and medical rescue beacons also being in flux.
Yeah, okay,
and
you're
as
right,
any
Jim.
longtime watcher of this channel knows, I have a philosophy to not complain without being willing to say in detail how I would do it otherwise, which is where I'm coming from today. So hitch on your waders, we're going to be slugging it deep into the muck.
Here's my idea. Hear me out. All right. Scrap the whole idea of server meshing. Use static servers. Use the jump gates as loading screens, and stack instances on top of each other for, like, you know, say there's already 100 players in Stanton, and me and Marcus and Jim and Canop fly from Pyro to Stanton. There's no players in there. It bumps us to the next most populated instance of that server. There you go. Done deal. It's over. And start working your player counts up from there. But hey, that's just my opinion. Apparently there are a lot of quite a few other games that work off of server meshing, more than I thought there was. And I don't know what's going on with CIG and why they're having such a hard time with it. I would assume it has something to do with their coding, their network coding, and their base coding, but I'm not a software engineer. This is me just throwing darts in the dark at a dartboard and seeing what lands and sticks. I'm sure there's other people. I'm sure there's other people more qualified to speak on it than me. I also know about a year to 2 years ago, I was watching Marcus and Canop. They were playing Star Citizen. They were talking about server meshing, and they even have hardware technology right now that can do what server meshing does, where they push data from one server to another and push it back to the other server. It didn't have a cost associated with it, but I don't believe it runs on Amazon servers. So then they would have to change servers. So, and I don't know what all that involves, but yeah, so there is technology out there that does it. But that's just my opinion. The other thing that I would like to see is the more and more I think about a dynamic economy and all of that other stuff, I'm starting to think that I don't know if CIG can pull it off well. I'm not saying they can't pull it off. I'm saying I don't know if they can pull it off well. I don't think a dynamic economy is really needed at this point in time. That's something that could also be added on later. But as far as having a static economy right now, we could use something like that. I don't care if no matter where I go, something always costs the same or has the same demand. Well, yeah. Anyways, what's going to make the economy more dynamic for now is allowing players to buy, sell, and trade with each other and craft items. But once again, that's all things that we don't have in the game right now. So, but that's my hot take. I don't think we need server meshing. I think we can get away with using jump gates as we can transfer from server to server. Persistent entity streaming, if it works the way it's supposed to work, and from the conversation I had with some guys that were more in depth with networking than I am, they said that if you can take their PES and you can have it transfer information from one server to the other, which wouldn't be that big of a deal according to them, and transfer that information, like the stuff on your personal body, the stuff in your ship, to the other server, use the jump gate as a loading screen, have 100 to 200 players on that server over there in Pyro, and everything will be copacetic. You would never even know that you were transferring. You would be under the impression that there was no loading screen if they do it properly. And I think that's a good way to do it. No loading.
Of death of a spaceman, and in the process seemingly to get off on some tangents. But like a jigsaw puzzle, Medical in Death has a number of pieces that must fit together to make the whole picture. So let's start with the most basic thing. What's important? Because Arena Commander, Squadron 42, and Star Citizen aren't simply separate modes or even separate games. They are separate game genres. And what makes a...
They're separate games. They're not separate genre. I mean, they are separate genres, but they're separate games. Star Citizen is a completely separate game from Squadron 42. Squadron 42 is a single player game set, if I'm not mistaken, I would have to talk to the lore boys, 15 years before Star Citizen. Like, it's a separate game. It just happens in the same lore, the same universe as Star Citizen.
Game genre, a separate game genre from another, is what is important. In a single-player action-adventure, what is important is perfecting how to complete the challenge, whether you call that a map, mission, level, or chapter. If it is obvious how to complete the challenge, or you do it the very first time, then it wasn't much of a challenge. So defeat and returning to a save point is considered just part of the game genre and unpenalized. In a match-play multiplayer game, what is important is finishing at the top of the scoreboard, either individually or your team if it is team play. Individual kills or defeats are just part of the score, and generally unpenalized beyond that. The realism of the broader game world...
I mean, with Arena Commander, yeah, I don't play like Battle Royale, or I don't know if they have... I've never ever played Star Marine, ever. But when you start playing games like Squad, Hell Let Loose, Arma, and things like that, and you're playing a ticket-based system, if you're in, like, say, like a tank or an armored vehicle of some kind, and you go down, like your stuff gets exploded, you're going to lose a ticket for everybody that's in there. So let's say there was 4 people in that tank. You're going to lose a ticket for each person in there. That's 4 tickets. And the tank is like 15 to 20 tickets, depending on what kind of tank. So you just lost 24 tickets for your team. And that's huge. That can start shifting the tide. And you just lost all that firepower that you're no longer going to have there for several minutes as you wait for a respawn for that tank and those guys, those 4 guys. So you just lost a ton off the battlefield. So maybe games like Call of Duty or Star Marine, that doesn't really matter. But when you play other games, losing stuff like that matters.
World is irrelevant because the match itself is just an artificial slice of just a few minutes. Persistent open world games, though, are about being your character as a realized...
Side note, I saw what you said there, Blaze. The tech demo thing has lived rent-free in my head for a long time. And I want to make, I'm going to go on 2 separate tangents. One, I still feel that SitCon every year is a way for them to be like, here's our engine. This is what we're working on. We're going to try to pitch it and sell it. How that's going to work, since it's CryEngine, Lumberyard, and their own modifications all rolled up into one. I don't know. I don't know the legality of it, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. And then secondly, I really, really don't like the fact that I can click on a video on YouTube. I'm greeted with a Star Citizen advert, and the advert is showing me all this crazy shit that me as a player that's been playing for 2 years know that I cannot do and will not happen. And at any moment that I am playing the game, sucks. But then I see playable now, live service, all the other catchphrases that go along with it. But then when I complain or bitch about something in the game that I don't like, or it's not working properly, or working as intended, or working as advertised, I'm told it's a tech demo, or it's an alpha, or if I don't like it, go play another game. And it really bothers me that we can be... Look, I don't care if you enjoyed the game so much that you want to spend the money on it, or you want to spend hours a day playing it. That's fine. You can play it. I'm not going to tell you don't enjoy the game. But when the other side starts bringing up some of the issues that exist, and it's very quickly, it's just an alpha, go play a different game, and we're told to basically piss off, kind of upsets me. And I think that example has been made no clearer than folks like myself and other people that said master modes could fundamentally change the game for the worse, and you may not enjoy it after it. And if you go over to Spectrum and you look at the threads there about master modes, and it's a dumpster fire for most people. They don't like it. They don't want it. They want to go back to the old flight model. And, you know, you see a lot of the same stuff repeated over and over again. Well, it's only tier 0. You know, this is the first implementation. Just give it time. It's an alpha, bro. Like, come on. You know it sucks.
Individual in the game world, with ups and downs, surprises, adventures, friendships, and building teams more well-defined and complex than a dozen people in the lobby. It is about the 3 pillars of immersion: detail, diegetic action, and verisimilitude. And a big part of verisimilitude is having death matter, because your character's survival matters. Is it an absolute requirement that survival matters? No, but it is generally a weaker MMO as a result, because what is supposed to matter doesn't. But not everybody wants to care about their character's survival. They want to charge in as if nothing matters. And so we need to rehearse the following line.
That's what absolutely terrifies me about cargo elevators and their tier 0 implementation. More waiting around, more spending time moving stuff over and over again to try to sell it or not sell it. What things are going to be broken, what things are not going to be broken, all of that stuff. I am absolutely terrified of what cargo elevators and personal kiosks mean for the game. Yeah, exactly, Mystery, exactly. Let me read some of this. Alt F4 because it's been 8 hours. Yeah. Death should matter for true reputation. Yeah, death should matter, but I'm not sure I like the way Death of a Spaceman works. I like how some of it works, but not all of it.
You'll likely have more fun playing that way in Arena Commander. Now, there was a time that would have been insultingly dismissive, but Arena Commander is now being given much more attention than it used to be. Similarly, saying that you have more fun playing that way in Squadron is...
Death, now, depending on the FPS game, death does matter big time. I used an example earlier where if you're playing, say, like Squad or Hell Let Loose, those are ticket-based games. So if you have a group of 4 inside of a tank and the tank gets destroyed because you were doing something stupid or you weren't paying attention or you just got by a better player, on the ticket-based system, you lose 1 ticket for all 4 guys that were inside that tank, and then the tank is somewhere between 15 and 20 tickets, and that can be game-changing, along with you just lost all that firepower off the field.
Also, a
Pagan being irresponsible again. Thank you, Pagan.
One thing that is dominating much of the argument about Death of a Spaceman is the apparent inconsistency. One time, Chris Roberts used the example of 3 or 4 deaths before having a funeral and activating the air character. And in another example, he talked about a character that you might have played for a year. Which is it? They can't both be right. And I'm going to say something strange and say that not only can they both be right,
Arcane, what's
but
up?
in fact, I'm going to say that if they do Death of a Spaceman right, they both must be right. Because the point of Death of a Spaceman isn't to punish you or to force you to have to watch funerals every X number of hours. The point is to get you to play your character as if survival matters. And if you play your character carefully and sensibly as survival matters, is to get you to play your character as if survival matters.
But that's not the point of Death of a Spaceman. If you go and you read the actual website, which I wish I would have brought up for this, there are serious, serious consequences for dying. And there's been other talks that, once again, we don't know which one they're going to do because CIG doesn't know which one they're going to do. But, there's reputation loss, there's money loss, there's maintenance fees, there's all kinds of stuff that's supposed to happen when Death of a Spaceman takes effect and you die and you have to put your stuff, send your stuff to your next of kin or your heir, and possible fees and reputation loss that goes along with that. That's a serious, serious consequence. And especially if they take it beyond 5 tiers of reputation, which they will, and it takes a long time to grind that, and you lose a lot of your rep. And the way that they've talked about the rep system being allowing you to get into things that you can't at certain levels, like certain chips, certain components, certain weapons, etc. That's a huge hit to your grind, and that's a huge consequence. So just playing like survival matters, that's not at all what Death of a Spaceman, at least my opinion, it's not what Death of a Spaceman has been billed to be. Let me catch up on chat. That important, then spatial combat needs to change a lot. TTK, especially harsher penalties for actually killing your opponent. Well, engineering is supposed to change that because ships won't just explode. So if you size 9 a C2, it's not just going to explode. You're just going to be floating around in a dead spaceship trying to repair it. So I don't know. I have some likes and dislikes with the way engineering works. Let's see what else we got here. Never will, even in games where it does, people won't take it on like, oh no, you just make that divide from normal players and the care. But that's also true. Yeah, more time to prevent me from getting back in the game. Yeah. Pops, what's up, man? How you doing? I spent money on ships. I'm going to play like I'm playing DayZ. I want to survive for sure, but I know I'm going to die a lot. Honestly, that's how I am too. I don't want to die in this game, but I die a lot. And not always by bugs. Sometimes it's my own stupidity. Sometimes it's, another player besting me in PvP somehow, or me, I don't know, getting shot through the wall by guards or whatever. It happens, but I try not to die, but you die in this game a lot.
And if you play your character carefully and sensibly as if survival matters, then yes, you should be able to play that character for a year. And if you play like a reckless idiot, you should be watching your funeral every game session, maybe even more than once. That is what the goal of a well-done death penalty system will do. And so, as I get into the details, realize that that is the ultimate goal. As for the third example of the statement in the Ursa Rescue advertisement about dying 1,000 times, that should never carry the weight of the statements from the actual CEO and the primary company spokespersons like Jared. But admittedly, the Ursa ad does reflect the current state of the game. So let's dig into how to do it, starting with some basics. And as an aside, my secondary goal in this is to make being a medic an actual profession in the game.
If you want a medic to be an actual profession in the game, then you cannot have a NERSA, a C8R, and a Cuddy Red-sized ship allowing respawns. Those are ambulances and should be treated as ambulances. The problem is that the medical gameplay isn't up to par either. And the medical gameplay shouldn't be match colored syringe to known ailment and push the plunger like we have now. I want actual medical gameplay, stuff that DayZ, Tarkov, Gray Zone, Rust, and several others have done a very good job with, where you need certain medicines, certain items to do X medical procedure. You break your leg in DayZ, what do you need? You need 2 sticks and a rope or 2 sticks and a bandage to make a splint to put on your leg. And you can't just run around on your busted ass leg. You now need morphine to dull the pain so you can actually walk and run without blacking out. Gray Zone or Tarkov, you take a hit, you get a light bleed. What do you need? A bandage. You get hit and you have a heavy bleed. What do you need? A tourniquet. You get sick in Scum, DayZ, Gray Zone. What do you take? You take a antibiotic and you get better. You got a head trauma and things are ringing in Tarkov or Gray Zone. You take a ibuprofen and it goes away. There's actual medical gameplay in those games. Whereas this is, here I have a blue, an orange, a purple, a green, and a red syringe. Match it to the ailment that you have and we'll push the button and it's over. Or I have this awesome med gun and all I got to do is click on it, click auto, push a button and beam my guy back to life and everything is over. So the magic pens and the magic med guns, if you want medical to be an actual medical profession in this game, the three vehicles I listed need to work as ambulances and you need to up your medical gameplay, because magical beams and skittle flavored medical pens needs to go away. What do we got here? Yeah, Mystery, you did a good job earlier showing how you take your L's. I take my L's like that too. Yeah, the whole magic pens needs to go bye-bye. Dr. McCoy, hand wave him. Yeah. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not an engineer.
The first basic is that you must have a choice to respawn at your most current saved location or your home city. This is to avoid the repeat of the famous Carrot Karen incident, where somebody had no choice but to respawn over and over again in their carrier.
Do you have a choice? You can reset it.
Eric, while the pirates who had taken over
at least that's what I've been told,
craft had no reasonable option other than to keep killing them. There was a lot of finger pointing between the Carrick owner and the pirates over who was to blame for the...
No, you're wrong, Ray. You should not jump in on this and not knowing what happened, but okay.
De facto spawn camping, but the real blame was the lack of any other option.
And that falls on CIG. There used to be a way to disable the Carrick med spawn. There should still be a way to disable the Carrick med spawn, whether I use a Tiger Claw and hack it, or there's a little button on the wall that I push, or I frickin' throw a grenade in the bed and it explodes. Give me a way to disable it. But also on the flip of the coin, give the player a way of reactivating it.
You can't implement Death of a Spaceman if you can get stuck in a death loop. The second basic is that the game should always prefer results where rescue is available over situations where rescue is impossible. Even though...
Okay, rescuing right now is really hard. So if you want to be the next med runner, God, I was going to put their latest video up from a few days ago. I think it came out like 10 days ago. Med runner video. It's interesting to say the least, and is not at all what I've experienced when going against them. But then again, you know, it was Space Station Korea and it was against AI, so there you go. What was he saying?
Incapacitation rescue is impossible.
Okay, the medical gameplay. So currently right now in Star Citizen, number one, there's no incentive to use a service like MedRunner or MedReaper or any of the other medical-based orgs. I know Mr. E really wants to do a medical-based thing, but right now there's no legitimate reason to use one outside of you have equipment on you you don't want to lose, sub gear mainly, because if you lose that you can't get it back until a patch is reset. Any other armor, weapon, utility item that you had on you, you can easily buy at any shop throughout the verse now. It's pretty easy outside of a med gun, or excuse me, outside of a rail gun, a sniper rifle, and LMGs. But even then, those three things are not that hard to find. There's no real reason to call them. Number two, most of the time, of the 100 to 120 people that are on a server at any given time, if you put out a med beacon, maybe one guy will take it. And that one guy, it happens like anytime I do this, I've only put out med beacons 3 or 4 times in the 2 years that I've played. This is what happens every time. And I see it in global chat too when people put out a med beacon. You die on Daymar. The guy that accepts your beacon is 52 million billion kilometers away because he's on Cellin on Microtech. It happens every time. So there's just not a point right now. There's just not a point. There's not a point. And half the time, if you can fake your computer, or if you can fake Star Citizen out into a artificial crash, you'll get all your shit back anyways. Not always, but sometimes. Emergency response is my goal. Med, repair, refuel, combat. Yeah. Being like the PJs in the Air Force. Wants to sell his body for science. Marcus and Canup are the reason I'll never put out a beacon. You got a little PTSD from them kidnapping people. You know, I should see if Marcus and Canup want to kidnap some people this weekend.
Even though incapacitation and disabling your ship are in the game, it's still far too often that you just get a big explosion and respawn without really any choice to do otherwise. Instead, the game should, even if there's even only the slightest chance, presume that you are in a rescuable situation. Sure, if you fly into the sun, but we really don't have the ability to do that, do we? Crash into a planet or an asteroid? Maybe it was just a glancing blow. Hit by a capital ship railgun? Maybe it wasn't a dead center hit. Sure, your ship could be in pieces, you could be incapacitated, sure you might have some tier 1 injuries. But still, respawn versus rescue.
Meth runners, yeah, meth runners is right.
Whenever even slightly feasible, be the choice that
I
you
miss
make, not one that is forced on you.
Medbed,
remember,
deathbed.
Your character is the star of an action movie. How often does the star in an action?
I want to hear that again.
Remember, your character is the star of an action movie.
Your character is not the star of an action movie. If he's talking Star Citizen, you're actually, lore-wise, you're in the top 5% of the universe's population wealth-wise, and you're just a dude. You're nobody special. You're not the main character of Star Citizen. Sorry, Mr. E. Sorry. I don't mean to offend you. You're not the main character of Star Citizen. You're not the main character of this quote-unquote action movie. You're just a dude in space. That's all you are. You're just a dude in space.
How often does the star in an action movie escape almost certain death? Pretty much all the time. The third basic is that when you call for a rescue, you will be rescued. The only variables are how soon and by who. Currently, the experience of a rescue beacon is that you put it out there, wait and wait, get frustrated after about 2 minutes and hit backspace, reaching the conclusion that rescue beacons are a waste of time. But instead, let's say that after 4 minutes, an NPC rescue squad accepts the beacon. A timer counts down, depending on your distance from the nearest presumed dispatch point, and when they are presumed to arrive, you are prompted to hit backspace to accept rescue, at which point you fade to black and fade up in a rescue craft just outside the area of operations where you were. No loss of equipment, and injuries heal to the extent that the medical...
He's talking about a medical trauma team from cyberpunk, AI based, so no player interaction, which is, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
Craft can, and no progress towards death of a spaceman because you were rescued, not regenerated. You can then elect to leave the craft or to log out, at which point you will log back in at your last visited habitation point. Now, some will say, hey, don't take away rescue missions from the players, but in fact, this does exactly the opposite. If people are getting bored and backspacing after 2 minutes on average, and the NPC acceptance happens at 4, you are, in fact, more than doubling the number of rescue missions available for players at any given point in time. There would also be special locations with the same mechanics but different timings. So, for example, racetracks would be presumed to have on-site rescue teams on call so that the time to acceptance to time to arrival would be almost immediate. Also, certain big battle events like Xenothreat could have medical teams staged nearby on very short rescue times.
I don't like that for like big events like Xenothreat, because even if you are in, let's just take modern combat for example, if a platoon goes out and is doing an assault on an area, right? They have a couple of medics within that platoon, but if somebody gets seriously fucked, it's not like there's an ambulance sitting 50 yards away taking shots from an RPK from a fortified position inside of a town. It's not happening. You know, you're talking about a 30-minute to an hour flight of Apache Black Hawk helicopters coming in with Little Bird or Apache escorts to come and get guys out that have been critically wounded, and even then they're not landing on top of the combat zone. They're landing a ways away, so it's not like they're getting rescued in a matter of minutes. You're talking hour or hours before they're rescued. So it's I don't yeah.
So with that out of the way, we're almost ready to get into my actual proposed mechanics of Death of a Spaceman. But let me define a couple.
So the reason why, I mean, I agree with you, but I also disagree with you, Jim. The reason why I don't like med runners is because I very early on in my Star Citizen journey was introduced to med runners through their videos and the propaganda that they were putting out there through YouTube. And I thought that they were these elite badass dudes within Star Citizen that would come and rescue you if you had problems. Now, when I half a year, 7 months in, when I flipped from being good guy to playing mostly bad guy, along with my buddy Star, we ran into med runners on 3 separate occasions, and this was back in their heyday before the hit pieces started coming out. Yeah, the racetrack idea does work. Yes, I agree with that. So med runner came out and we dealt with them on 3 separate occasions. 2 guys, and I'm talking when they came to get their guy, to get their client, I'm talking 8 to a dozen people showed up, and 2 guys with railguns, sniper rifles, and machine guns were able to mop the floor with them to the point where they had the client backspace. They nuked everything from orbit. I'm exaggerating. They shot everybody's ship and exploded them and then left. And that's been our experience with them 3 separate times. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they're awesome. I've seen them get absolutely dumped on by Greasy Khaleesi. I've seen them get dumped on by other people. That's why I take an issue with med runner. Now, I've seen other med runner teams like go in and they're ready for a fight. They're ready for a fight, knowing that they might be ganked. I tried doing medical rescue once, or well, actually more than once, and I just didn't enjoy it because there was never any medical beacons out. So that's why I stopped doing it.
Terms. A med bed has an operated mode and an autonomous mode. The autonomous mode only requires that the patient be present. Operated mode and an autonomous mechanics of Death of a Spaceman. But let me define a couple terms. A med bed has an operated mode and an autonomous mode. The autonomous mode only requires that the patient be present, and the operated mode requires that there be someone at the screen at the foot of the bed. The difference between what is possible in operated
master modes for med beds, I don't like it.
Mode versus autonomous mode is what makes a medic profession in the game. In a different video, I proposed a system where...
Or I have a better idea, Ray. How about we actually have some freaking medical gameplay instead of match purple syringe because you have a broken leg, and then an oxygen pen because you're running out of oxygen, and the almighty med gun that just takes care of everything until you can get to a med bed. Like, I don't know. It's so stupid. I'm sorry.
In operated mode, a less advanced medbed can heal more serious injuries than it could in autonomous mode. My Death of a Spaceman system builds on that. My proposed Death of a Spaceman system has a measure called genetic instability, or GI. It represents how well your newly regenerated cells actually function as living cells. Think of it as like blood drug level, but for your genes, and with fewer outer symptoms. While all tiers of med beds...
Wait a second. Let me back this up. Doesn't this mean retarded? Yes, I said the hard R, but doesn't this mean... right? Genetic instability? Are we talking like, you know, some Alabama brother sister, your mom's your dad's your uncle kind of stuff right here?
Or GI. It represents how well your newly regenerated cells actually function as living cells. Think of it as like blood drug level, but for your genes and with fewer outer symptoms. While all tiers of med beds can do regeneration, the better med beds have less GI. A med bed in operated mode has less GI than one in autonomous mode.
I'm sorry, Ray.
Regenerations at established facilities, such as hospitals and clinics, have less GI because their med beds are presumed to be in operated mode, even if they're operated by presumed NPCs. It is also possible in an operated med bed to take extra time to have
so you got to stay in the bed longer now.
Roughly a minute extra in the bed would be...
Ray, where did you come up with this stuff from, dude? Like, do you are you on the herbal essence, Ray? Are you on the herbal essence, Ray? Because this sounds like some super messed up. Like, I got really high one night and was thinking about Star Citizen gameplay, and I had nobody to talk to about it. So I just like word vomited onto a notebook, piece of notebook paper, and this is what I came up with. Like, this is I'm sorry, Ray, but this has got to be one of the more convoluted and dumb things that you've come up with in a while.
Same reduction in genetic instability as
for 30 minutes at 400 degrees.
Now let's talk about how GI dissipates with time. There is no med pen or any other method to reduce it once leaving the med bed other than time. Genetic instability has a half-life of 1 hour. An hour after leaving the med bed, it is half of what you left the bed with. After 2 hours, a quarter. After 3 hours, an eighth, etc. This must be playtime, not logged out time. Now, the next time you regenerate any remaining...
Wait.
The next time you regenerate any not logged out time. Now, after 2 hours, a quarter. After 3 hours, an eighth, etc. This must be playtime.
So you want me to sit in a bed for 3 hours of playtime? Oh my God. You need to talk to your dealer, bro. You need to talk to your dealer, bro, and you need to tell him, get you stuff that isn't quite as strong. Like, you need to get off that wacky tobacco. You went one strain too high, buddy.
Not logged out time. Now, the next time you regenerate any remaining genetic instability from your prior regeneration, and there'll always be even a minuscule amount, becomes permanent genetic instability. If you're even a minuscule,
you become permanently retarded. This is what happens. You don't sit in the bed for 3 hours, you get permanently retarded.
Amount becomes permanent genetic instability.
Yes, it's babysitting.
If your permanent genetic instability reaches 100%, then the regeneration fails and we have death of a spaceman. So yes, play careful and be smart, be patient, have a medic, select rescue instead of regen wherever possible, and sure, you could play the same character for a year. Play reckless, smash the regen button the second you go down, then immediately rush from your med bed back into battle, and yes, you'll be having a funeral every play session. Maybe.
Or you're going to be sitting in a med bed for 3 to 6 hours every time you play the fucking game.
Even more. But then, and I'm putting this near the end to see who will actually listen to the whole video before posting their flame comments, is Death of a Spaceman really as bad as people are behaving it is? I mean,
in some ways,
do you
yes.
actually lose? The air gets all your fleet, all your bases, all your hangars, and nearly all of your money. Some reputation is lost, but if they implement it right, that can actually be a good thing, since everybody will get some reputation that they would like to erase, or perhaps have an opportunity to take a new direction with different orgs.
Exactly,
so they
Jim.
could implement this as, say, choose 4 reputations that you want to keep and the rest get 0, which would then let you rid the ones you don't want. So tone down the drama. DOAS isn't, or at least doesn't have to be,
exactly.
all that bad.
Exactly.
Now for an update on our giveaways, we have a special membership.
Well,
to
your genetic instability will drop, and you'll become more and more mentally challenged as you progress through the game. So any speech rolls or charisma rolls that you might need to make later on in the game are going to be an automatic fail, because you're going to be mentally and well, you're going to be mentally diluted, and your physical appearance is apparently going to be diluted as well with genetic instability, unless you lay in a bed for 3+ hours of real gameplay and not, logged out time.
help cover my travel costs to have the channel give live CitizenCon coverage with its own giveaway.
All right, I'm done with this. I'm done with that. I am so sorry, guys, but that was Ray. That actually killed some brain cells. I'm sorry, but that was not good. That was not good. I like the idea of the trauma team. That was about it. Everything else, boo, boo, boo. I wanna do one more, a shorter one. Am I going to look like Deadpool? Do a Voidy. Did Voidy have anything come out? Did he have anything come out 2 days ago? Ooh, this is kind of a long one. We'll do it.
Welcome back to Is This What They Call Snorting Fat Rails? The second slam war is over and we're about to die.
I am sorry. Voidy, how dare I? This is Voidy Vids, coming to you live, not really, but coming to you from South Africa. And this video is, these space bikes are broken for Star Citizen piracy gameplay. So let's see what he does.
Holy shit. There's a big, oh well, never mind, bro. But we had some good times. We episode 4 speeder bike fantasied around Ghost Hollow.
You are 42.3 gigameters away from me, Subtext.
I am...
Gigameters.
I am right.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
I've been calling them jiggly mamas, but that's okay. You guys call them whatever you want. You can call them gigameters. I call them jiggly mamas.
I'm hearing American voice.
Damn, fair.
He's flying upside down.
I can't tell them apart.
We found an abandoned C2 and asked the big questions. Where are all the people? Where is all the cargo? Then we saw some NPCs demonstrating relatable behavior.
Holy shit.
I don't feel like I'm a very good hot taker, but thank you, Jim.
Because they're just angry about all the rampant dupe exploiting and can't comprehend why it's still a thing. Then we attempted some high-stakes piracy around Grimhex that was as well thought out as a CIG stability hotfix.
Shots fired.
I'm in, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna chill, bro. I'm gonna hide in the cupboard, bro. Okay, I'm gonna take him out quickly. We're being attacked. Dude, there's one more on here, bro. I'm gonna try to get out of here. But I'm gonna get janked now. I'm out.
Nice. I like how he's subtitling his Discord.
Who's that? Gun shoots.
And he died.
Then we took this Corsair to Hurston to commit crimes for fun and money. I mean, to do our part against the trade dupe exploiters. And as you know, all good ships have a name. So I decided to call this one Prologue.
Prologue. Pirates
we land at Propel after detecting a Taurus, and I'm as excited as you are for some epic boarding S-tier piracy gameplay.
There he is. Is he crawling?
Oh, come on, dude. There's no way he bought already. It departs with near perfect timing, and now I'm suffering from severe PTSD. Watch every video on the channel if you don't know what I'm talking about.
He's always getting this close, and then they
We
fly
put
away.
in maximum effort and give chase, but as we get into the sky, we realize we're operating on another gang's turf.
Who is it? Otto.
Ah, fuck. It's really heartwarming to see just how much other well-adjusted players hate exploiters as well as this prologue. There's no honor among thieves, and the enemy pirates easily defeated us with their F8C P2W Lightning Mark FU. And this is the end of the prologue, and we can finally begin the epic space adventure.
That was good.
It's too much firepower to deal with, bro. Oh shit, jump! That happened way sooner than I thought it would. Holy shit.
And he's out.
Right.
Voidy with a railgun. That's a dangerous thing. Those ships better not get too close.
The plan is simple. We'll get to the space bike and use that to track the targets in the sky and prepare for another duper to land. Then the pirates active in the area will pirate the duper and we'll pirate the pirates because they'll be expecting an unarmed cargo hauler wearing a condom instead of an epic gamer with a brain that's too smooth to fail. Oh shit.
It's getting windy out there in Hurston.
We made it. Dude, these things are so handy, bro. Holy shit. Wow, a
How much is that
pirates
pulse?
video would have
Isn't
been
it
a
like
way better
50 bucks?
YouTube video than this one. Unfortunately for you handsome viewers, you're watching this instead. A Voidy vid pulled from a stream on twitch.tv/Voidude where the live viewers were as disappointed as you probably are right now because after being stranded for literally tens of Hurston hours and broadcasting the most expensive space Uber request in history, the only contact that arrives is this bounty hunter. And that's the other thing, man. Oh shit, boys. Oh shit. Wait. Somebody accepted. I don't want to burn all my money, thank you very much. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Bro, what the f***? Oh shit. It's a fighter, man. Come on. I can't jack that at all. After stalking in the dark for a while, we decide to make contact because remember, in this ultra-hardcore series of ludicrous space game adventures, making money from PvE content and backspace into fast travel is illegal.
But to be honest, I'd rather buy porn than buy another spaceship.
Bro, can you hear me? Gun down, gun down. I'm not hostile. I'm not hostile. Put your gun down, please. Gun down. Dude, I could have killed you 10 minutes ago. Say something in global if you can hear me, please.
Yes,
what you up to, brother? Bounty quest? Oh, bounty for who? NPC or player? Okay, cool. Listen, dude, I got attacked. I know this sounds crazy, but I was attacked by pirates and I lost my ship and I survived somehow. And I need a lift, bro.
I'm going for... I'm not going to say it. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble, so I'm just going to keep it to myself.
I know you came in an Aries and...
No, I'm not. Isn't getting fucked the point with porn? All right, I said it.
Or an iron. Can you... Do you have any other ships that you might be able to pick me up in? I'll pay you. In blood.
In blood.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. How's it going?
Ah, yeah. Sure, I can. I switch my plane ship and come here back. Yeah.
That'd be so great, dude. I'll wait here. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. How much do you want?
No problem. Nothing. Ugh, come on. It's nothing.
It's Voidyvid. You do it for free for Voidyvid.
Nothing's free, bro. You can't have that attitude, bro. You got to make some money where you can.
Nope, for nothing. Give me 5 minutes and I'm back.
Oh yeah, thank you, brother.
Somebody's going to clip
glad
that.
He didn't charge for the ride because it took so long. I could have watched all 3 extended Lord of the Rings movies while waiting for this fake Frodo to return the one Voidy to the fiery depths of Everest Harbor. Bro came back in a cutter. Let's go. Hello, is that Frodo?
Yo, that's I am.
You've got to return the one passenger to the... How did they say it? To Mount Doom on Everest Harbor.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
That's funny.
No problem, man. Come in.
He's gonna kill him. I just know
Man,
it.
this
He's
is such
gonna
a
kill
sick
him.
ship, bro. Like being in this ship makes me want to like go to Pyro and just survive. You know what I mean? How's the game been treating you, bro, since the patch dropped?
That thing's what I want in this patch where it didn't come.
What did you want?
Build my fucking house.
I would give Voidy a free one.
Storage my own ship on my garage.
One day, bro. One day.
That's you know
Bro,
what, you're
thank
right.
you so
You're
much,
right,
dude. I'll
Canop.
send you something.
You're right, Canop. I would at least shout out on, because he'd probably be streaming. I'd probably just shout out my channel and then be like, all right, this one's free because you gave me a shout out, and do it that way. JT, you're probably right. You're probably right. Somebody's going to clip that and put that in there.
Thanks for your trouble.
In the clips and highlights.
Cheers, man. Take it easy, bro. Good luck on your hunt.
A few more months and I'm going to be putting those all together into a video.
Nice. It's day 6 or 7 now or something. Don't try to keep track of my cannon. And we're back in the budget Fremen from the previous video now, because I have no footage of it getting destroyed. So let's assume that this is the same ship and no Nerve has detected some activity above Crusader. Man, how exciting. Nerve, I'm about to jump to you. Okay, how many targets are there?
There's a Gladius here, 2
Sorry,
vultures.
I only slept for like 3 hours today.
I'll put in my QD up.
Been a little rough.
C2's moving, C2's moving.
C2 could be primary if they're loading into it, eh?
Yeah, I think they are.
I'm in range of the C2.
I'm always hoping that in some of these Voidy vids, when he's talking about pirating pirates and pirates getting him, I'm always hoping it's going to be like Blackjack or Chaos Squad. But so far, it hasn't been.
It's a whole org up here, peeps.
We don't, dude, we're in a reclaimer. Like, we're not going to do anything there.
Yeah. Then Andromeda's going to be a problem.
I'm on Nag 3, dude. Do I soft death him?
Go for it. I'm going to go for the Andromeda on you.
Is it on me?
Citizen Eds. There's an Andromeda and a Gladius chasing you down.
I can see inside his cargo hold. He looks empty, dude. No.
He's empty. Get off of him.
I've got one of the vultures here. I'm scanning.
It's chasing him.
We need to focus down.
Gladius. Shield is stripped.
You need to get out.
Yeah, you gotta get that Gladius off here.
Gladius dead.
Nice, dude. Well done. Holy shit.
Get away from the thing.
He's still getting
Shoot
hit.
down the vulture. Get your shields up if you can.
Uh-oh. You're in trouble now. You got missiles on you.
Do flares work in this patch?
No.
Yes, you need to be out of nav.
Yeah, no.
No, they
I'm
don't
just
work.
Spamming them.
Okay, vulture down.
What
Something's
is
on me,
you?
bro, and it's taking me out.
Flying monkeys, it's the Andromeda. 890 Trump.
890 Trump.
F7A, dude. There's a whole.
You've got too much on you guys.
Yeah, we can't fight this 40. Drop
you back next already.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll just come back with my Corsair if this doesn't work out. My spawn is on my Corsair.
40, can you drop your interdiction?
Soft death, bro.
Where are you? Shit.
Wow, what incredible space combat skills. For more incredible space combat skills, tune into the Avenger Squadron Fight for Kids charity tournament hosted by
Avenger. Expat Brat. Oh my god. Ollie 43, really? Astropub. Yamix, really? Yeah, I know Blasphemous. I don't know him, but I know of him. Neeble, I know. Yeah, I remember when Griefernet got him. Bognagus, I know that guy too. A lot of these guys I don't know. I know Burks, obviously, Ferrister, Blasphemous, I know him. Yamix, I know. Ollie, of course. Void Dude, Bognagus, Space Tomato. Don't know who that is. I know Zero State. Neeble, Salty Mike, I know. Cutlet, I know. And Expat Brat I've heard of, but I've never seen any of their stuff.
Atmo Esports, taking place this Saturday, June 8th at 6 p.m. UTC, where I'll be joining an elite pro dogfighting force.
Mike better not be buying Steak Sauce better not be buying pepperoni pizza with that.
That's so excited right now.
Boyd, what's up, man?
To slice Space Tomato.
Make the game, Chris.
Dilute Sodium Michael.
Bro, what the fuck?
Drain the Astropub.
Star Citizen, from its inception, is a PvE with PvP in it.
Fry a Space Cutlet.
Click it because it tries to do the QED to me. That's a fucking 400 I don't care about.
And bake a water potato. In some epic 3v3 content creator showdowns. We may be soft deathed, but we're still hard alive for epic boardy ludicrous space game action gameplay.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah. Initiating infiltration op.
Wow, okay. Yeah, see if you can just float around, see what you can do.
Bro, I can't board the Corsair yet, huh? It's bugged.
I think so. Yeah, so they had a Gladiator. Yeah, I think if we get a few of us in,
no.
Only you could open a Corsair properly. It's like the one ship you can't, eh? Ooh.
Go have a look inside, you f***ing coward.
Instead of, you know.
Oh, come on, Voidy, get him.
Unfortunately, the Corsair wasn't in the mood, but we spot our pulse, which is good.
But maybe they have more on.
Ah, there's his pulse.
Is that your pulse?
Yes. Yeah, dude, maybe we try infiltrate them with
right,
bikes.
Mason?
Jack a ship.
Man, that'd be cool.
That'd be so sick.
Go get him.
Dude.
He got it.
Dude. Bro, is this in...
By the way, is it maybe soft death as well?
I can hear the computer talking
It's not
to
turning
me.
on.
It's
but it doesn't
bugged.
work, which is bad. Dude, why is it going so fast now? Our pulse may have totally pieced the f*** out at the speed of light, but an opportunity to space bike infiltrate an orc salvage operation is too rare and too big space money to ignore. So Nerve returns bearing 2 more pulses. Maybe I'd just quickly get some oxygen?
Yeah, I'll hop inside quick.
Okay, cool. Should I just grab a pulse and bail?
Take me. Yeah, I'll take a pulse.
Yeah, they both look a little bit dinged up, bro. This one I'm struggling to get on. Why can't I get on this pulse? Is yours also busted? I'm grateful that...
Speaking of Mason, how's Voidy been? I'm sure you've probably seen him down at the bar at some point over the last couple of weeks. Tell him I said hi. Give him a big old bro hug for me.
Nerve brought the pulses, but I'm more grateful that Nerve doesn't work at Amazon.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what happened here. Both like combusted in the back of my ship, blown pulses around for days.
Yeah, I know, same, bro. Do you want to? Should we do a drop off?
Yeah.
We formulate an epic plan to do a sweet mid-space salvage op infiltration drop-off. We just need to time it properly and then fame, riches and painted Star Citizen FPS boardy shooty epic space combat piracy gameplay glory will be ours. I can bail here and steal one of those ships.
Okay, bail. Are you close enough?
No idea. Closer than I was before. Oh, the C2 that I was looking at was scrap, bro.
Maybe jump out to lose aggro, Major. Yeah, maybe Voidy can just pop him because he's already crouched at 3.
Destruction of vehicle against Kota Ramati.
We can make one, maybe?
Yeah.
Kota Ramati?
Yeah, he's
Kota
got
Ramati is dead.
9 SU RMC.
Sick.
Guys, can I jump the vulture to you?
Mason, we missed you too.
Okay, sitting route 2 fair.
I love your
encountering severe space turbulence.
I'm just getting the vulture
your
out.
takes on this.
Vulture's got 9 RMC on it.
Yeah, I'm about to be in Nerve's ship, which I have lost. There it is.
If you come back there, or Voidy, someone just ping out for a vulture in the area.
Yeah.
Like a soft death one.
Mason.
What Hercules is this?
Unknown.
Guys?
Unknown Hercules.
I do not know. Not one of us.
Not us.
Oh god.
That's a live Hercules.
Yep.
Here?
It's alive. It's alive.
On Voidy.
If it's alive, don't lick it.
That's spicy. That's spicy, bud. They might even have your bounty, and they might know that you're there.
A dude in a C2 bounty hunting, I doubt it.
It's ballsy. It's very ballsy, Voidy.
Ballsy.
Oh my god.
That's
working.
Oh no!
Hold still, Voidy.
Oh my
You
god,
got
did
him.
you get this right, dude?
You got him. You got him, Voidy. You got him.
Oh my god, you
Holy crap.
fucking animal.
No, dude.
No.
Maybe
Oh
get the blue.
well, never mind.
Yeah. We commandeer Nerve's blue. Okay, so we got 2 scrappy boys here, ready to be munched, and I'm pinging for a vulture. I don't see anything. And I guess it's bad luck to fly another guy's quantum interdictor because soon a bounty hunter chases us away. Oh shit, something else has come. Bounty hunter probably. Yeah, guys, nice knowing y'all.
Cool, see if you can jump up.
Man, the second slam war made so much more sense than part 12 of the salvage wars, and we're only saving 9 SCU of RMC from duplication so far. This is so sad. However, we come back later and a Taurus and a Vulture are attempting to capitalize on the good fortune we failed at capitalizing on earlier.
There's a lot of capitalizing going on in this capitalization.
Yeah. I think
there's 2 humans, 1 deceased human, and Kunis.
There's humans
with QED.
That's that org.
Yeah. No humans.
And we'll finally get some epic boarding action. If only I didn't forget that my ship is in decoupled mode.
That would be the goal, yeah.
No, don't kill anything. We might want to take it out of here.
Okay.
I think the way to go here would be someone boarding the ship and just killing them.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Disoriented.
They're still making boxes. They're just not paying attention.
How, dude? You guys teleported. I was right there. What the? We experience an expensive relapse because we're missing out on S-tier gameplay.
I've done stuff like this before too.
Yeah, we're gonna fight us coming in.
And we arrive just in time for cargo logistics.
I see nothing in the back. I'm getting back.
Sweet monies.
I'm grabbing the boxes. I'm gonna slap them on your conny, bro.
Okay,
no X3s are coming.
America! Alright, I got a guy in a sperm suit. I just killed him.
Nice.
Are you stealing the Taurus guys, or?
I'm loading boxes onto Crobits.
That's just one. I think there's
more.
Oh, no, there's several still on the Connie.
I don't see those boxes on the Connie, brother.
I do. I'm grabbing them. Well, Voidy, if you can't see the boxes on Connie, why don't you take my Andromeda and be ready to go if we need to?
Lots of capitalism.
Where was he?
Capitalism.
He was in the
capitalism for the capitalism.
He was in the just above the cargo bay in the Connie.
Because America.
Front. Oh damn! I must have flown past him like at least once.
Yeah, same. I mean, he was being sneaky. I don't think he had a gun.
They never do, right?
He was in
they never have a gun.
Preventing 5 to 10 SCU of RMC from getting duplicated doesn't sound like much.
Guys, if you run cargo or you do salvage, bring a gun with you. Please bring a gun with you. At least shoot at them as they're boarding you. Like I've said a bazillion times, even if you don't stop them from soft deathing your ship, you can still kill them. And now it's turned into they have to make a choice to come back for their body, blah, blah, blah. You can choose to respawn and come back, and, you know, you could be meeting on equal footing this time, you know, in a ship designed for combat, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, I'm going to get off that soapbox now.
But it's more than CIG have done to save the economy. What big space money. Thank you channel patrons and channel members for all your support. Without you, I would not be able to continue producing these videos. Thinking of pledging to this ludicrous space game, then use one of the referral codes.
I think I see Mason's name on here somewhere. It's somewhere on here. I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
It's on screen now for a free 5,000 starting credits. If you enjoy my content and want to support the channel,
it says Beer Bro.
Beyond a like and a subscribe, check the links in the description. Consider the join button below and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv.
Thank you so much, Voidy. Love you, dude. Love you so much. Your content is amazing. Amazing. I shared that with you guys. I'm going to hit that like button. All right. So here's the deal, guys. I'm really tired. I'm really hungry. So I'm going to get off of here in just a moment. But I know I was nerding out big time over MechWarrior and BattleTech. I'm going to try to find some stuff for you guys that's a little bit more exciting and less wordy, blah, blah. And maybe we can enjoy it together a little bit more, because it was more me enjoying it than you guys, I think. Let's see. Also, stay tuned for a couple of streams this weekend. They will be happening. I'm thinking Stalker. I'm not sure what else I might stream, but yeah, I got to get back into Stalker and finish that off. Like I said, I think I'm about halfway through it. Anything else? I don't think so. Guys, it's Friday night. Enjoy yourselves. Don't do anything dangerous or stupid. And I'll see you guys next time. So for now, so long. Thanks for all the fish, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.